With their muscular bodies, razor-sharp tusks, and lightning-fast breathing, wild hogs have become one of the most destructive forces in American agriculture, causing over $2.5 billion in damage every year. Once seen as a natural part of the wild, these creatures are now the #1 enemy of the farmers, tearing through crops, irrigation systems, and fences like living bulldozers. Across Texas and the southern states, an all-out war has begun, from hunters and helicopters to high-tech traps, in one of the most intense wildlife battles in US history. But this isn't just a story of chaos and destruction. It's also a story of innovation, survival, and turning crisis into opportunity, where the same animal that once destroyed the land might soon feed the nation. From devastation to dinner plate, this is the untold story of America's wild hogs. Join Diamond Farm as we dive deep into their world. What? In just 2 decades, their numbers have exploded into the millions. Across the United States alone, over 9 million wild hogs now roam freely, a biological army tearing through farmland, forests and wetlands. Each year they cause billions of dollars in damage, uprooting crops, draining soil nutrients and wiping out native wildlife. But where did this unstoppable force come from? To find the answer, we have to travel back in time, 5 centuries ago. In the 1500s, European explorers like Christopher Columbus and Hernando de Soto brought domestic pigs to the New World. They were meant to be an easy food source for settlers, adaptable, hardy, and fast-breeding. But over the centuries, human carelessness turned this plan into chaos. Some pigs escaped into the wild. Others were intentionally released to roam freely. Then, in the 1800s, another wave arrived, Eurasian wild boars, imported for sport hunting by the wealthy elite. When these fierce newcomers interbred with the escaped domestic pigs, a hybrid was born, larger, stronger, and far more destructive. They look clumsy, heavy, almost slow. But don't be fooled, a wild boar can sprint up to 40 kilometers an hour, faster than most humans on a morning run. When cornered, they don't back off. They charge. Armed with razor-sharp tusks and muscle-packed bodies, they can injure or even kill in seconds. An adult male can stand nearly 80 centimeters tall and weigh between 60 and 100 kilograms. The males have long, curved tusks that grow outward like ivory blades. Females have them too, smaller and hidden, but just as deadly when protecting their young. Their reproduction rate? Almost unbelievable. Biologists say they are one of the fastest breeding invasive species on the planet. If humans fail to eliminate at least 70% of them each year, their population doubles. One female can give birth to 10 or even 12 piglets in a single litter. Today, over 30 million wild boars roam across the world, spreading through forests, farms, and even city suburbs. If they were all gathered together, they'd need an area larger than the entire state of Texas just to feed. At night, they emerge from the shadows, nature's living bulldozers. They plow through cornfields, uproot sugarcane, and destroy irrigation systems built by months of labor. What once was green farmland turns into a battlefield of broken soil and ruin. Worse yet, they remember. They learn the safest routes, return again and again, and teach their young where the richest fields lie. A single herd can erase an entire harvest overnight. And it's not just crops. They prey on chickens, calves, and spread deadly diseases, leptospirosis, hepatitis E, even African swine fever. Relentless, intelligent, destructive. Humans never back down easily. To fight back against these destructive beasts, one weapon stands above all: the gun. It sounds simple, but imagine this. Hundreds of fast-moving targets, darting through fog and dense forest, vanishing in seconds. Even trained hunters struggle to keep up. Night vision scopes, silencers and drones help, but not enough. Legal restrictions, noise pollution, and safety zones turn each hunt into a logistical nightmare. And every missed shot means another field destroyed, another herd multiplying. Shooting may look like a solution, but against an army that breathes faster than it dies, the barrel of a gun feels painfully small. In many rural areas, farmers have tried everything: thin mesh, wooden stakes, even plastic fencing. Every time, the result is the same: failure. Wild boars learn fast. One trap with the wrong size or a gate that snaps too soon, and the entire herd remembers it forever. They avoid that spot for good. And just like that, they don't just survive, they thrive. To fight an animal that clever, humans have to think like one. They have to understand its habits, its trails, its weaknesses, because one wrong move can throw an entire ecosystem out of balance. Small traps never work. A proper wild boar trap, known as a corral trap, must be 30 to 40 feet wide and at least 5 feet high. Big enough to capture an entire herd, 15, sometimes 30 animals, in a single drop. If the trap is too small and even a few escape, the survivors will remember. They'll warn the others, and from that night on, no boar will ever go near that spot again. Wild boars are incredibly strong. When trapped, they ram the steel walls with their heads again and again. Weak welds snap, fan frames bend. A full-grown boar, nearly 3 feet tall and weighing over 440 pounds, can twist rebar and crush mesh fencing like paper. Every joint, every bolt, every weld must be reinforced, because when the trap slams shut, chaos follows. Location matters more than anything. Where you set the trap decides 60% of your success. Boars move mostly between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m., following the same trails from forests to farms. The best sites: look for turned-up soil, muddy wallows, or narrow crossings between woods and open fields, the invisible highways of the night. Once the structure is built, the baiting phase begins. It's about turning cold metal into something that feels safe. Farmers use irresistible scents: dried corn, spoiled milk, soda, beer, even fermented fruit jelly. They seal the mix in a drum, let it sit for 3 to 5 days, and wait for the smell to ripen. The sour sweetness spreads for miles. It pulls the boars in, night after night. The bait is scattered from the outside inward, slowly, building trust. Each night, a little deeper, until they believe it's just another feeding ground. Some even bury the bait 8 inches deep to trap the scent and keep the herd digging longer, reinforcing natural behavior. For 3 to 7 nights the gate stays open. No sudden movements, no sound, just patience. Then comes the most delicate moment, the close. Close it too soon, and you'll catch only a few. The rest will learn and never return. Wait too long, and the herd may move on to another field. Thanks to infrared cameras and motion sensors, the operator knows exactly when 70 to 90% of the herd is inside. That's when the gate falls. In seconds, the trap turns alive, bodies thrashing, mud flying, metal groaning. Within 1 to 2 hours, capture teams must arrive. The longer they wait, the more stressed the animals become, and the higher the risk of damage or escape. Corral traps work, but they come with a cost. They're 3 to 5 times more expensive than regular traps, bulky, and rely on electronics. Still, when they succeed, the reward is immense, not just in captured animals, but in peace restored. Each successful trap means fewer destroyed fields, fewer diseases spread, and fewer desperate nights for farmers. But the story of the wild boar doesn't end in the trap. After capture, they are transported to USDA-certified processing facilities where every step is governed by strict food safety regulations. Before slaughter, each animal is humanely stunned. Inspectors double-check that the animal is completely unresponsive before the process continues. Every boar is then tested for diseases like brucellosis and pseudorabies to ensure the meat is safe for consumption. Unlike domestic pigs, wild boars can be processed on a conveyor line. Their sizes, muscle density, and even fat content vary wildly, so each carcass is handled individually, cut and trimmed by skilled butchers who treat every animal like a unique specimen. Immediately after dressing, the meat is chilled to below 4 degrees C, locking in freshness and halting bacterial growth. From field to cold room, the transition takes minutes. The result? A leaner, darker and more flavorful meat, firm in texture, rich in taste, and naturally low in fat. Chefs describe it as bold yet balanced, with a subtle smoky edge that tells the story of the forest it came from. Once a symbol of chaos, the wild boar now becomes a delicacy, transformed by human care, skill and respect for the animal's wild origins. Wild boar meat holds more than flavor. It carries the essence of the wild. It's richer in protein, leaner in fat, only about 3% compared to 14% in farm pork. Living free, feeding on roots, nuts and forest grains, they build muscles dense with iron, omega-3s and vitamins rarely found in industrial meat. For many consumers, it's the definition of clean eating. No antibiotics, no growth hormones, just nature's design. That purity comes with a price, up to 50% higher than regular pork. But here lies the paradox. As demand for wild purity grows, so does the pressure to hunt, trap, and profit. A simple meal becomes a moral question. Where does sustenance end and exploitation begin? And so the story of the wild boar goes far beyond the forest. It's a reminder that what we eat and how we take it from nature always comes with a cost. Whether through technology or restoration, the balance between human need and the wild world remains fragile. If you found this story thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because nature still has many untold stories waiting to be heard. And so the story of the wild boar goes far beyond the forest. It's a reminder that what we eat and how we take it from nature always comes with a cost, whether through technology or restoration. The balance between human need and the wild world remains fragile. If you found this story thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe and share, because nature still has many untold stories waiting to be heard.